Oh, we leave old homegirl alone for one day, and guess what? This used up old jalopy just decides to go nuclear, thinking that she already has control of Twitter because, well, she figured out the sauce. Everybody's locking their accounts, not everybody's protecting their tweets, but you know what? Hey, she's just trying to see if a little bit more cover can give her a little bit extra reach. And you know what? She definitely has the reach. She definitely has the spread, if you know what we're talking about, because she seems to have one Twitter. Who knew you could actually do that? But she definitely has what's going on down there, at least for the dude in charge, because anybody who has any clout in this game right now isn't doing a darn thing about anything that she's out there doing, okay? And now, well, providing some receipts, and we got a whole bunch of receipts to provide on this one. Twitter banned a lot of accounts. This comes from Tug, and he's talking about this overnight. A lot of accounts last night, a lot. I unfollowed at least 6 accounts while sleeping, which says they were banned. Normally it's a bot purge. I see 1 or 2, but 6. It looks more like accounts gone to protect Eliza Bleu, and he also showed in real time the amount of followers he had last night as opposed to today, and it's significantly dropped as well. It's kind of weird, you know, he's kind of cutting on the forefront when it comes to covering all this stuff. And this isn't day 1, day 2, day 3. This is more like day 10, day 12, day 13 at this point. So everybody who would have been just, sick and tired of hearing this stuff, they would have punched out well beforehand. But the fact that he ended up unfollowing people, like, I've seen it, and I follow a handful of people that are out there. It's not saying that there's not a lot of good people that's out there. I just have a couple little aggregators and some people that I know that I follow. Outside of that, no offense to the great work that's out there, and yeah, if you've been around for a minute, I've definitely used Tug as a source, and he's got the inside track on this type of stuff. So I'd believe him if he's making these claims. But yeah, back to Eliza's account, still logged out. Still don't know exactly what her stance on this is. But don't worry, I think we're going to get some insight into that. So we have a screenshot of what she's actually out there doing right now. So it's still getting good views, that tweet, even though everything is still locked up. She does have over 250,000 followers, so, shout out for that. Soft hands will get you far in this business. But we seen a couple videos ago when she said, oh no, just before that Daily Beast article dropped, oopsie daisy, now's a great time to test and see if that locked feature is something that would actually work out. So from behind all the block that's out there, and then with everything else that's going on right now, with all the Twitter bannings that continue to happen, with them posting publicly available information. If you're new here, this is what this is all about. Eliza knows at the time. Eliza knows. That's the moniker that she was going under. Eliza Morthland, this is. She was going under that, dancing, shaking some ass in a World Star hip-hop video. And some other videos before that. And some videos before that. And being a groupie for My Chemical Romance. It's a long old story. I got a playlist and everything's all settled on that front. So we know about her past, but what about her future? And it involves just spreading good vibes, man. Only good vibes around here. It's like your single 50-year-old aunt. Just box wine and good vibes. I love you. I love you so much. I'm standing right here in pure love. I don't need you to love me back. I'm not going anywhere. If you change your mind, I'll still be standing here in love. I'm standing here in love behind all the protection at YouTube. Or rather, that's what she's hoping to get here in a second. Spoiler, well, you would have known by the title and the thumbnail. But all of the love over there on Twitter, behind your block wall, behind the curtain. Okay, cool. But now, all things certain, and you know what? This old scallywag seems to have sailed the blue sea and conquered that, and she sees some red shores over there and thinks, you know what? I got rid of that video over there pretty easily, even though it was, 6, coming on 7 years old at this point in time from a multi-million-dollar network. They could do without one video. So what if we start running around to different places that are simply covering videos? And that's what she's doing right now. First and foremost, hitting up a good man right there in Legal Mindset, taking down his video. Eliza Bleu trying to use privacy claims to silence critics, and now she comes for one of my videos. So that's one of his videos. He's done a couple of clips. I've seen a couple of clips, and I don't know if that's necessarily the live stream or anything like that, but information reported as violating privacy is at about 3 minutes 56 seconds. Okay, so you know what? Hey, if this is just a one-off instance, it's still a little bit sketchy, and I still don't like it at all whatsoever, but first couple of minutes into maybe a 10-minute long clip, a 3-hour long live stream, maybe something like that. Maybe it was just, snatched up by the bots over at YouTube, and we know how sketchy they are. But then you have Christina, one of Andrew Legal Mindset's friends, also getting snatched up in this stuff as well. Don't have the time stamp as to when he received the email on that one. But as for Christina, 8:33 p.m. local time. She's out in Virginia or something like that. So that's Eastern time. So Eastern time. FYI, everyone, have been hit by Eliza Bleu on one of my channels for covering past publicly available videos of her. She's using the privacy complaint to flag videos. Okay, 26 minutes. 48 seconds. That tells me that it's not just a bot running through the first couple of seconds to be like, yeah, no, you didn't swear, you didn't have your lingerie on, shaking ass, something that you'd end up regretting 6-7 years down the line when you change your grift up. So, okay, we got 2 of them here. They run in the same circle, okay? They know each other. 2's a mistake. 3's a pattern, though. Then you got Yellow Flash, somebody who's already been hit by Eliza Bleu on Twitter. His account is still down. This, it's probably his manager or something like that. Yeah, no, definitely nothing to see there. I just got hit. Oh no, somebody just got hit. Just got hit with a privacy complaint over my Eliza Bleu video, tagging a whole bunch of other people who, So what do we got right here? Here's the picture of all this stuff. Eliza Bleu got me banned. Shady Grifter uses Elon Musk to boot the quartering. Brittany Venti, all that stuff. All of those wonderful, fantastic little notable words. Afford the algo. And there you have it. It's all at unique timing. Don't know, maybe it's a percentage thing or anything like that, but you got 20-some minutes from Christina. You got the first few from Andrew, and then from Yellow Flash here, you got just about 3 minutes in. And she came for the big homie right here, the quartering. You knew if she... But let's be completely honest, okay? This is a lot of people, and these are a lot of different videos that are out there, okay? 9 different videos that ended up getting a smackdown. Like, I know the quartering talks about everything a lot, multiple times over. Well, it's exactly what he's known for. That's exactly what he does. I love you so much. I love you so much that I don't want you discussing any of my nonsense that I've been doing online. But wait, there's actually more. Shout out to Tree of Logic one more time for compiling this little list that's right here. So, and people that have been hit with privacy complaints on YouTube, Chrissy Mayer, Brittany Venti, That Star Wars Girl, The Quartering, Griftcast IRL, very funny, Fair and Balanced, Steel Toe, Yellow Flash, Mersh, Lucky Burrito, That Umbrella Guy, Legal Mindset, Noctis Drav, OK, Bowl, Olympics Hero, Not Radix, Lauren Chen, and Ninja and Nerds News. You can fill in the rest of it there. The camera's rolling, so I won't say it now, but maybe later. Justin is lost. All of them. There's probably more. There's likely to be more. Heck, one of the videos that I did on this topic got decent traction, then it just got killed in the middle of the night. Nothing funny about that at all at YouTube. Of course not. So that's just the current list of, what do we got? 4, 8, 10, so 20 people. 20 people. I don't think, okay, Eliza's nefarious, kind of idiotic, but them old fingers, those 40-plus-year-old fingers, oh, she'd be typing away for so long. There is clearly a small cabal of simps running behind the scenes to run cover for him. I wonder why, because these people, like a bunch of notable names that I see there, not people that I watch all that often, but people that I know, and they tend to do pretty decent stuff. And you might be able to see one guy that's right over there. We'll be talking about him real soon because he hasn't opined on this topic. Probably because, oh, we're working on something behind the scenes, but we'll talk about that shortly. Maybe he's just waiting for YouTube to figure out exactly what they're doing. So everybody's being hit with these privacy takedown notices. So I'm just thinking, how does this work? Because it was initially reported DMCA claims, which is, yeah, that's normally what people just end up doing. They see something that they don't like said about themselves. They'll just hit it. There's times and places for DMCA claims, copyright claims. If it's somebody critiquing, reviewing, laughing at your nonsense that you publicly posted on the internet, not exactly DMCA worthy, not exactly copyrightable material, especially when you're an actor or in this case a video vixen in some of the content that's out there. You don't have copyright over that. You were compensated for your performance, probably overcompensated if we're being completely honest based on some of those dance moves. Your say in how everything gets handled after the fact, hey, that's at the whims of the copyright holder, World Star Hip Hop. or Vivo, a couple of the different rappers that are out there, or heck, even some of the podcast appearances that you may or may not remember being on. And oh boy, yeah, I got some more video here right at the end, so you can scrub ahead if you'd like, but I'd appreciate it because we got a bunch of good information, like what exactly is this privacy strike, this privacy concern thing. And I know it doesn't quite fit on there, but you know, Google does goofy things about their formatting that's on here, so I'll just read everything for everybody, and you can, I don't know, look away, or you know, just wait 10 seconds in order to figure everything out, or just read it yourself, because I'll link to everything in the description as per usual, at least what's relevant here, because I see a lot of tabs that's up here and y'all don't want all of that, but good enough. Protecting your identity. We want you to feel, merch, safe when you're on YouTube, which is why we encourage you to let us know if videos or comments on the site violate your privacy or sense of safety. Videos or comments that violate your sense of safety. How nebulous is that? Holy. If someone posted your personal information. So is this the standard that we're going with? Your personal information. Okay, so what's been out there of Eliza? Nose, seeps, cuts, Morthland. Am I missing anything? We probably got a couple of more, but a couple more monikers, but old Miss Blue, who? Nothing personal has been posted, at least from the people that I've seen on there, at least the ones that I recognize on that list. Of the 20 people that have been hit so far, they have not been posting any private information of you, or uploaded a video of you without your knowledge. A video. Some of those people, like I haven't played the video on any of my previous coverage, but I've shown screenshots, I've showed some podcast appearances that aren't owned by you. None of it's the Eliza Bleu podcast, which just sounds terrible, but uploaded that type of material without your knowledge, including in private or sensitive circumstances. Yeah, so they don't, this is YouTube and Google not wanting to mess around with any sort of 1 or 2 party consent states that are out there, or whatever the international law is. If you have to ask for consent in order to record anything, that's when you can file this type of complaint, okay? Ask the uploader. So this initially can get settled by asking the uploader to remove the content. If you can't reach an agreement with the uploader, here's where it comes in. Or you're uncomfortable contacting them. It's like, oh my God, you posted my private information. Now I'm scared to contact you because why exactly? But whatever, that's the path you guys want to go on this. Or you can request to have the content removed. I clicked on that just to see like where it goes, but then you can start filing some stuff, and it's like, no, that's all fine. Based on our privacy guidelines. So what are said guidelines? Our privacy guidelines give a detailed explanation of our privacy compliant process. It also explains the factors we consider when evaluating privacy claims. For content to be considered for removal, an individual must be uniquely identifiable, and that individual or their legal representative must submit the complaint. Okay, so now we're getting into some actual definitions. Okay, individual, uniquely identifiable. Okay, there's no disputing that. All of these pictures, all of these scantily clad images, none of which actually violate. Like I haven't seen any nudity strikes come down for any of this stuff. So it's genuinely Eliza. So we got that settled. And as for number 2, that individual, their legal representative, must submit the complaint. So far, we don't know for sure, but maybe your little fingers are super busy, or she's taking on counsel and wasting some lawyers' time on this. Is that what we're seeing here? If you want to use the privacy complaint process, make sure that you are uniquely identifiable within the content when using the privacy complaint process. When assessing if the individual is uniquely identifiable, we consider the following factors: image or voice, full name, financial information, contact information, or other personally identifiable information. Yeah, like I got this big old port wine stain on my side, and there was this picture that was taken at the beach, and oh my gosh, well, I don't have that. That's disgusting. When you report a privacy complaint, we consider public interest, newsworthiness, and consent as factors in our final decision, as well as whether the videos shows a person's moment of death or critical injury. Yeah, of course, obviously, you don't want any snuff content on the platform. I understand that. But if they're taking into consideration something that is trended for the better part of this week, public interest, it wasn't until it was. Newsworthiness, the fact that you're getting people yeeted off of Twitter, and now you're trying to take your talents down to YouTube in order to exercise the same type of perceived authority. That would be pretty newsworthy. And consent. Well, you already signed off on all that publicly available material. You volunteered to be on those podcast appearances, those music videos that are out there. But are we going with a standard of withdrawn consent now on YouTube? Is that what we're also finding out right now? Holy. As respect to privacy and memory of deceased users, we consider request. Yeah, no. And I seen there was something, it's like a fairly large YouTuber got into a massive car wreck. I know this is a huge tangent, but I've seen that, and it's like, wow, life does come at you quickly, and there's nothing but a love pouring out their direction. Same thing happened when somebody that I used to watch way back in the day that ended up passing away from cancer, Total Biscuit. Y'all might remember if you were watching, you know, good quality objective reviews back in the day, and PC reviews, the first thing that you'd go through with the option menu, and oh, that was a godsend back in the day for PC ports. But yes, all of his content is still up, and it's still, you know, just as good as ever, but all of that stuff is up at the discretion of his wife right now. They're little goofy tips right here. Realistically, what I'm finding out right here is, you know, these are super nebulous in order to enforce wherever they deem fit. So think carefully before you post personal information. Yeah, if it is personal information, this includes examples such as the town that you live in, where you go to school, your home address. Yes, when somebody can directly find you, especially if you post controversial content, or if you post scantily clad pictures of yourself trying to purport yourself to be a video vixen. You wouldn't want some simp showing up at your front door now, would you? Protect your account data. Yes, get permission first. Get permission before filming other people or posting their personal information. Gee, it's almost like that was accomplished by all the people that were hosting her, that now all of a sudden she's not exactly all that concerned about consent because, well, that just doesn't factor into her love thing. So outside of Daily Beast reporting on this stuff, you know, providing some sources, talking to people that knew her in the past that were saying, yeah, no, everything that this old clout goblin is out there doing, none of the stories check out. We've known her for well back in the day, a decade plus, okay, even when she was still old for the scene back then. She's capping so hard, it's the leaning tower of Capsa. That's about to fall over at this point in time. But given the fact that she's in tight with somebody who's fairly prominent in the news sphere, wouldn't you think that they would be working on something that's out there? And we talked about the Shane Cashman fellow here beforehand. Just wondering if our good dude out here is actually putting together that story that Tim alluded to in his deleted tweet. Just wondering, just checking in, but Tree of Logic one more time. Oh, and one more thing. Shane Cashman is very biased when it comes to Eliza Bleu. They are good friends, and the way that she kept love bombing him during Timcast proved to me that this so-called investigation piece was going to be a nothing burger. Yeah, it was just going to be a fluff piece. Of course it was, because there you go. You got a couple of appearances right there, and that one is fresh, hot off the tails of when all of the stuff really started to pop off, because she tried to clout jack the Andrew Tate story, and then people, this is all very interesting. You're putting out a whole bunch of I feel likes, and we were duped, and women are simultaneously in control of their life, but then also can be deferential passengers at a moment's notice, whatever makes their existence a little bit more palatable. Oh, you want to continue to push that stuff? Oh, okay, cool. All right, bet. What's your story about? Oh, wait, and people started to run your pockets and ask for the receipts, and you couldn't come up with anything? Holy. But don't worry, man. She got a great defense force over there. Cassandra Fairbanks, old yogurt mouth. Oh my God, it's so wonderful that's over there. I believe I've heard that she is the head booker for the Tim Show or whatever. Cassandra McDonald now. Oh my gosh, she's been married. That's so adorable. Somebody's got to have the Yogurt of the Month Club subscription, because that's what you need to lock this down. Timcast will have an exclusive story. Sorry, Daily Beast. And she called Fair and Balanced too. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. A dollar store, Nancy Grace, because she's putting together a documentary, but because everybody's getting snatched up right now all over every platform. Don't know how Instagram's faring, but I don't know, with drip like that, you ain't gonna get too many likes. But to each their own. So she's pushing that off for just a hot second. But we got some more. We have some more nonsense straight from the silver-haired mule's mouth. Please give Shane Cashman a few days before the article is published. It took us 2 days to go over the first 2 decades of my life, and the last 2 decades have been equally intense. I doubt it. I doubt it. We've seen what's going on. He did so many interviews outside of me as well. Sorry, what? He did many interviews outside of me as well. You should probably word that a little bit better, especially if you're a survivor advocate. You wouldn't want to trigger anybody that you're advocating for, but we know that that hustle is just an online persona, so just stop it. He has books worth of writing to do. You are not that interesting outside of, unless somebody's cataloging all of your fantastical lies, then you might have a point. He's a good man, but he hasn't been easy on my loved ones, those close to me or me. He was tough. Did he talk to those childhood friends that could go ahead and corroborate the stories like the Daily Beast did? I'm just wondering. He has been tough enough where he pulled out details of my story that I didn't know existed before. Oh my, what is this guy? Also a pseudo-psychologist? Holy. Imagine if this is actually a hard-hitting journalistic piece where it's like, wow, I sat down for multiple hours with this absolute verifiable nutter and here are all the verifiable lies that she told us. But I doubt it. I totally doubt it. You guys remember all of these pictures that are here and they're standing together and they're just being so great? Come on now. To be clear, I haven't gotten paid by anyone. Did anybody ask for money? Nobody asked for money. Where'd you just throw that in for? I haven't gotten paid by anyone involved in the article, nor was it requested or offered. No one interviewed. The article got paid. Timcast is not monetizing this article specifically to my knowledge right now. I wouldn't mind if they did. They just aren't. Well, that's wonderful and fantastic. Because if they were monetizing it, we know your tactics. We know exactly what you're going to be doing. But hey, man, once this grift eventually dries up, because, yeah, we kind of gave you some air there for one day. And then what did you decide to do? Name's not trending. Locked and all that stuff. You know, I'm just hemorrhaging followers on Twitter. It's time to take my talents and hit up YouTube. I hear they like censoring. Maybe they would like to help with human trafficking. Maybe they would like to redefine that. But she could have gone back. You know what? She could have gone, refined her image, or even just take a step back for a hot second. Because Lord knows she definitely needs to right now. But she's not going to. Of course she's not going to. This is an egomaniacal attention monger that just can't go back to working a 9 to 5. But, ooh, like I previously mentioned, good old Farron that's out there. Yeah, in her documentary, she apparently talked to somebody who used to know her when she was out there hawking used cars. She has that exact demeanor. How could nobody have made the connection that she is a slimy, greasy, disgusting, used car salesman? So Eliza Cars, you could spell it like cars, but she likes to spell everything just a little bit goofy, right? Seep, cuts, nose, heish. Yeah, it would probably be what? CRZ cars? Is that what we're going with? Or Eliza Trains because choo choo. More on that in a second. That's how we're going to end this one. But we got a little clip. We got just a little clip that's out here, okay? Where I don't know which podcast this one's from. My Fellow Americans. Maybe this guy's reacting to something that she said before, but it looks like it's at least the same backdrop from what happened when she was discussing age of consent in a hypothetical utopia. Strange way to frame that, you creepy little cuties defender. But as Brit, pashed potatoes, looks like somebody who might be an expert on analyzing slurred speech, is absolutely convinced that Eliza is drunk AF in this video. So, well, let's see if this ends up panning out, shall we?
If I could have one message to libertarians tonight, or really anyone.
Thank you.
There'll be a point where you're going to have to decide whether or not you want to eat your own children to stay alive.
Pause. What? You're going to have to... Okay, I understand that this could be taken completely out of context. This might be at the end of a very long stream, and if she's talking to a bunch of... I legitimately don't even... Spike Cohen? Is that who she's talking to? Anyways, regardless, I'm just trying to piece this all together. Maybe this was at the end of an extensively long, drawn-out conversation. Maybe she tossed back a few, but there was a long, old Hassan-like pause at the beginning where she was trying to collect her thoughts. You could see the gears turning ever so slowly. It's kind of odd how that would happen if they're so well lubricated, but talking to fellow libertarians... I've never drank in my entire life, and depending on how long I've been recording in an entire day, I could run a couple of words together here or there, but holy, she just, I wouldn't be surprised, like Brit there, if she ain't a couple of fingers deep in something. Oh, poor phrasing.
It's how bad it gets. It's how bad it gets in North Korea, where every hair on your head is needed to be burnt for heat. Literally no hair on your head goes to waste. Everything is owned by the state. You are married to the state.
You just say?
You own nothing, you have nothing, and you'll be looking at your loved ones deciding whether or not you want to eat them to stay alive. They will not stop, ever.
Oh my God, you will just have no bad words said about you. Everything will be looking around you. Everything will be fine around you. It will just be great everywhere. And why do we have to go there? Why can't we just love each other? That'd be so great. Holy, yo, yeah, this girl drunk. Who girl's this? Somebody come pick up your girl.
You don't want to let it get there. Don't fight on Twitter. It's not worth
Just had to stop that for a second.
it. You fight the state. You fight those elites that are those seeking power.
Just not the ones who are properly regulating their platforms to fit your desires, right?
Libertarians and anyone that seeks liberty. I don't care if you're a Republican. Anyone that seeks liberty, even if you're on the left. If you just believe in liberty, fight this, because they're not going to stop.
They're not.
And I'm telling you, you do not want to see the other side. You'll be sitting in the gulag wishing you had done something and wishing you had spoken up when it mattered.
Ugh, this is why I get so sick and tired of listening to these so-called intellectual type podcasts where they just bet around the same idea and then come to the same conclusions based on how they feel about certain things, because it's just so nebulous and stupid. What's the actionable information right there? No, guys, you need to fight back. Otherwise, we're gonna be a gulag one day. You won't know if that's your mom that you're throwing on the funeral pyre in order to stay warm. I don't want that to be there. We gotta burn our hair. Where'd my hair go? Oh wow, I'm actually a brunette, but my hair is actually blonde or purple. How did it get purple? That's not natural. Where am I?
And then, of course, when they put you in a situation of destitution, then they help you with a little bit of what they've stolen from you.
100%, Spike.
Abuser.
100%.
100%, Spike. That's a pimp.
Yo.
It's called what it is. That's a pimp.
Well, if we need to have an expert on pimping, I think we know who we're talking to.
Spike. But they're not even a good. They're like a gorilla pimp. They're not even a good one, and they will stop at nothing, Spike.
Yo, I understand that this isn't exactly the best quality screen cap that you have right there, and it's even smaller the way that I have it all set up and all that stuff. But regardless, hey man, the way that she laughs or chuckles, like, there's no movement from the eyelashes upwards, and at least, you know, they're the big long you know, so at least there is some movement to see there. But that right there, that is the forgotten land. There is no movement up there at all whatsoever. Holy.
They will stop at nothing. The police will stop at nothing. And you know what's even worse?
You like my lips, Spike?
They're going to celebrate. Those that think that they're virtuous are going to celebrate.
Maybe allegedly.
The slavery.
Yo,
they're going to celebrate it. They're going to celebrate the slavery. They're going to help build their own prisons. That's the worst part.
That's fantastic.
You know? So that's what I hope people understand. This is not a game.
It's not a game.
Well, that's part of the gaslighting, right? Is
Yeah, that's wonderful and fantastic. But she was opining about pimps, gorilla pimps, good pimps, bad pimps, sugar pimps, all of those types of pimps. And this is a girl who knows a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to pimping, because guess what else we found out there? Care of the wholesome crow. She's drop dead gorgeous. In 2015, she looks legitimately exactly the same, okay? She's drop dead gorgeous. Eliza knows. And guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, half a stack Eliza right there. Shout out. Because guess what? Them plastic bracelets, they ain't cheap. So, that right there, on Facebook, homie, it is publicly available as it gets. If you're looking for a good time or maybe a hookup at Twitter and you just got $500, a burning hole in your pocket, hit up Eliza Knows, because she knows a good time. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.